All right, everybody, welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into something that might sound a little dry at first.
Oh.
Inventory control. Stick with us, though, because it's actually way more interesting and relevant than you might think.
I think so.
At its core, it's all about making sure you have the right amount of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Whether that's raw materials in a factory or clothes at your favorite store.
Makes sense.
It's really about finding that sweet spot where things run smoothly without wasting resources.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating about inventory control is how it touches so many different parts of a business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're talking cost efficiency, of course, but also making the most of your storage space.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's making sure production keeps humming along and that you're meeting customer demand every step of the way.
It's a big puzzle with lots of pieces.
It is.
And speaking of puzzles, a company that's really mastered this whole inventory control game is Zara.
Oh, Zara. Yeah.
They're that fashion retailer that seems to always be on top of the latest trends.
Mm-hmm.
But that means they have to be super careful about how they manage their stock.
Right.
They want to stay fresh and exciting.
Sure.
But they don't want to end up with warehouses full of clothes nobody wants.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a real balancing act.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned trends, because Zara's entire business model is built on what we call fast fashion.
Fast fashion.
Yeah. And inventory control is at the very heart of how they make that work.
So how do they do it?
Well, one of their key tactics is producing clothing in much smaller batches than traditional retailers. Then they keep a super close eye on sales data.
Okay.
And this lets them quickly restock the items that are selling like hotcakes.
So it's all about speed and data.
Exactly. They're constantly adapting to what customers want in real time.
Which is super smart.
It is.
But it also makes me wonder,
what's that?
doesn't that make them vulnerable to running out of popular items?
I see what you're getting at. Like, how do they balance that need for speed with making sure their customers are happy and can actually find what they're looking for?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
And the answer is that Zara invests heavily in something called demand forecasting.
Demand forecasting.
Yeah. Essentially, they're using sophisticated algorithms and crunching tons of data in real time to try and predict what people will want to buy.
Wow.
They also have a network of store managers who provide constant feedback from the front lines.
Okay.
You know, what's selling well, what's not moving.
Makes sense.
All of that information feeds directly into their production decisions.
So they're trying to stay one step ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, even the best system isn't foolproof.
Right.
They do run into stockouts sometimes.
I guess that's inevitable.
Pretty much. But they've calculated that the benefits of this approach outweigh the risks.
Okay, so it's a calculated risk.
You got it.
It's amazing how much data and technology goes into all of this.
It really is, but that's just one part of the story.
There's a whole toolbox of inventory control methods out there.
Okay.
And the right one for a business really depends on what they're selling and what their specific needs are.
So give me some examples.
Well, you've got things like FIFO and LIFO, for example.
FIFO, LIFO.
Yeah, they stand for first in, first out, and last in, first out.
Okay.
And they're all about managing how you physically move and track inventory.
I'm not sure I follow. Can you break that down a little more?
Sure. So imagine you're selling something perishable, like food.
Okay.
Using FIFO means that the oldest items are sold first.
Right.
This helps reduce spoilage and waste, which makes sense for something like groceries.
Yeah.
On the other hand, LIFO might be better for certain non-perishable items from an accounting perspective.
Interesting.
Especially if prices are going up.
So different approaches for different situations.
Exactly. And then you've got techniques like ABC analysis.
ABC analysis.
Yeah, which is a way of prioritizing inventory based on its value and how quickly it sells.
Okay, so this is way more than just keeping track of numbers in a spreadsheet.
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole strategic element to it.
You've got to be thinking ahead.
You do.
And what about the role of technology in all of this?
Oh, technology is huge these days. We have software systems that can automate a lot of the tracking, the analysis, even the decision making.
So it's all about real-time optimization.
Exactly.
But I imagine even with the best technology in place, there are still challenges.
Always, you know.
Think about all the supply chain disruptions we've seen in recent years.
Exactly.
Or unexpected surges in demand.
Right.
or even just like natural disasters that can throw everything off.
You know, it's true. We've all seen how even the smallest hiccup in the supply chain can cause huge problems.
Absolutely.
So yeah, inventory control is all about constantly adapting and finding that balance.
Always staying flexible.
Right. And you know what?
What's that?
This isn't just something for big businesses to worry about.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, let's take a step back for a second.
Okay.
And think about how these same principles apply in our own lives.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, on a personal level, we're all managing some form of inventory all the time.
That's true.
Think about it. The food in your fridge, the clothes in your closet.
Yeah.
Even the files on your computer.
It's all inventory.
Exactly. And how often do we waste time searching for things we can't find?
Oh, all the time.
Or spend money on things we don't need.
Guilty.
And then those things just end up cluttering our homes.
It's that enough but not too much idea all over again.
It is. And applying even some basic inventory control principles to our personal lives can make a huge difference.
Yeah, I see that.
Less stress, more time saved, maybe even some money back in our pockets.
Sounds good to me.
Imagine a world where you never have to dig through a messy drawer again.
Sign me up.
Because everything has its place.
Okay, I'm officially on board with this inventory control thing for my own life now.
It's a journey, right?
It is.
But just starting to think about what we truly need and value, that's a great first step.
That's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
So inventory control isn't just for businesses.
No.
It's something we can all use to live more efficiently and intentionally.
Absolutely. And you know what?
What?
Here's something else to ponder.
Okay.
If we can apply inventory control to physical things, you know, like the stuff we buy, could we also apply it to intangible things?
What do you mean?
Like our time, our energy, maybe even our relationships.
Wow, that's deep.
Something to think about, right?
Yeah, definitely food for thought.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of inventory control.
It's been a pleasure.
It might have sounded a little technical at first.
Maybe.
But as we've discovered, it's actually pretty fascinating stuff.
And relevant.
Absolutely. And it's something that we can all learn from.
Definitely.
Until next time, folks, keep on diving deep.
Keep diving.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.